what's up? It's your girl Neek, and you're tuned in to Neek at Night. And tonight I'm going to bring to you guys another power review. And I have a special guest who's also a YouTuber. So she's going to shout out her YouTube channel. I told you guys when I reached 50K, I was going to do some commentary with some of my subscribers and as a thank you for supporting me and things like that. So right now I'm going to allow her to shout out her channel.
My channel is Grown Folk, just Grown Folk, and my name is Ashley. It's a bit different from yours because I tend to curse a lot, but it's very interesting.
Okay.
Very interesting. So just come over and see me at Grown Folk.
Okay. All right, well, now that she's introduced herself, that's Ashley, we're going to get right into this power review. So, last week I did a review with another one of my friends, and it was recapping episode 1 and 2. This week we're going to talk about episode 3, and then we're going to kind of probably dabble into 1 and 2 a little bit just to lead up to this episode. But I'm going to just start off first with episode 3. So, episode 3, a lot of things are happening. It wasn't that much action in this episode. We got to see how things are starting to fall apart for people. What do you think when it comes to Tommy? So basically, those of you who watch Power, you know that Tommy has this long lost father that, you know, came out of the blue, and then he started forming a relationship with him. Well, now in episode 3, we see that he was using Tommy to gain access to be able to get out of jail and things like that. So what do you think will happen going forward with that relationship?
I think that right now, that's what he, what's the city or whatever his name is. Like, I think he's doing that right now, but I don't think he's going to all the way turn against him. You know, I just think, like, maybe he will get that father. Either I think he's playing the police just to get out because his wife is dying, and he's just he's just using Tommy to do so, or, you know, he's actually gonna fall in love with the relationship and not hurt Tommy.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Well, my thoughts on it, I don't know. It's tricky because it seems like everybody backstabbing everybody. Everybody trying to get to the top. They trying to do their own thing. So I don't know. I don't know if I mean, that's a possibility because he also, like, he made sure to say, like, I'm not a snitch. If you know anything about me, I don't do no snitching, blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, it could very well be something to play the Fed so that he can, you know, get out. But if he doesn't give them any useful information, I'm sure he can, you know, land back in jail. But so he's going to have to give a little. He might have some resistance and he might not want to fully just turn on Tommy. But I think in order for him to stay out of jail, he's going to have to do some sort of backstabbing. And it's not going to be good. So, I mean, that's my thoughts on it.
Right. I can totally see that.
All right, so going off of Tommy and on over to Ghost, last episode we seen him murder one of the victims of a child being lost and everything like that. In this episode, we see the effects of his actions, not only affecting the person that he murdered, he actually just, you know, killed that person, but it negatively affected the family that he thought he was going to be helping them. So the father said, like, well, now I'm a suspect now, like, they're looking into me. And it shows that, you know, his actions, you know, although he thought he was helping, it didn't really do any good. What do you think is going to happen with that situation going forward?
I think Tasha somehow going to mess it up. Because she is so emotional right now. Like, I don't think she's thinking for the greater good of the group. And I just really feel like she's going to somehow maybe tell the dad. I don't know. I just have a feeling she's going to mess it up. However she's going to do it, she going to mess it up. That's my whole take on the family. Because, I don't know, she's getting too sensitive with the whole thing on grieving. I know she wants to talk to somebody, and Ghost won't allow her to do that. So it's kind of like they're mad at each other. He wants to punish. I feel like he killed that dude because he can't kill Dre.
Right.
So it's like he heard the story, it ticked him off, and like he said, I can handle that. That's something I could solve. So I feel like Tasha is gonna mess that up out of trying to ease those parents' minds, and she gonna do something stupid.
I don't know, because I mean, she seems to always somehow know like boundaries as far as like what to say, not saying too much. But being that she lost her child, yes, she is a little bit more in her feelings and things like that. So I mean, I don't know. It's interesting to see how it plays out, and I mean, I wonder if he's going to continue ruining the lives of the parents that he's thinking about helping. Last week we kind of predicted that he was going to continue going to group and hearing the stories and then being like this vigilante. But I'm kind of curious to see, like, will it negatively affect all of them, and you know how that will play out.
Do you think that she's not going to want him to go back because he did what he did? So that's the only thing I'm thinking it might save from that route, because I mean, if I was Tasha, I would, and you did that, I'd be like, I don't want you to go back because you may hear a more tragic story and then go do that, and now you're putting everything we ever done at risk, and then we won't be able to get the revenge we're trying to get.
No, I think that he will, because he brushed it off. He didn't care like what she had to say, like, oh well, I helped, like, you know. So I think that they will go back together because it's a grieving process for both of them. I think that of course she's gonna have resistance for him not to kind of be a vigilante again. But I think that he will go back because he brushed it off and he was just like, girl, bye, whatever. That was kind of like his response, and he didn't really take heed to what she was saying. He didn't really seem like he really cared too much about how it felt, because he still felt in the end like I helped them out. Like, I helped them out. Like, they'll know sooner or later, like, I helped them out. So I think that he will go back again. I'm just interested into seeing like if he'll try to take the vigilante approach again. I don't know. I guess we'll see. We'll have to watch and see what happens with that. Okay, so off of Ghost and onto Tariq. They talked about sending him to this school, and they didn't really have a lot of mentions going forward as to like if he's enrolled yet and things like that. We see that the detectives have finally kind of put like some of the pieces together as to the link between the dead cop and Raina. What do you think going forward will happen with Tariq as far as, you know, them unraveling the layers of this story? Do you think that the police will implicate him some type of way, and do you think that he'll get in trouble in some sort of way for his involvement in Raina's death and in the robbery and everything like that?
Okay, now I might be by myself on this theory, but I watched last week with you and the guy that you guys, what you were saying, and I think something totally different. I don't know if it's out of hope and desperation that we can finally like Tariq again and not want to beat the hell out of him, or, you know, just I'm hoping it's that all together. Now, when he called and warned Dre at the funeral, you know, it was like, what the hell is that about? But I got to thinking maybe it is because, you know how he been trying to handle everything on his own, and it's just like, you know, the world, he wants to solve everything because he think it's his fault and he mad at everybody. So I'm thinking maybe he had did that because he wants to, you know, get the revenge since himself. On his, you know, by himself. He don't want the help of Ghost and Tasha or Kanan or Tommy. You know, he want to be the man that he think he is and do it by himself.
Right. I mean, yeah, that's a possibility. It's just all kind of different ways that you could look at it, different scenarios. I think, like I said, I think that he is I mean, but it's kind of similar to what because what I thought last week and what I said last week, I said I think that he is gonna go off to go to school, but I think that it's gonna be some type of, you know, linking back up with Dre via like maybe another kidnap situation, or, you know, him leaving to, like, you know, form like a secret friendship with him. But you're saying basically you think it's just like just straight out revenge. I don't know. I mean, it could literally
Yeah,
go
like
either
he's using
way.
them.
It could literally go either way. I think that Dre, I mean not Dre, I think that Tyreek, he's very naive in people's intentions to me. So for me, I think that he feels like Dre looked out for me when it came, because Dre did look out for him as far as saying like, don't link up with Kanan, don't you know, link up with these people. So I think that it'll probably on my end be more of like a secret, like, I trust you on Tariq's end. And then I think that Dre will use that to be able to, you know, get revenge on Ghost. That's just, I don't know. That's what I think.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a good point. What irritates me with Dre is that, you know, like he's all about it now and gangster now, and you know, got this on lock now, and you know, I'm a boss. I could tell you what to do, but he couldn't do that when it was just an army of one, which was
Right.
Kanan. You know, when he came home and Kanan was holding his little girl and pretty much threatening him, taking his manhood, he could have just put a bullet in Kanan's head then.
Right.
Like, you waited 4 seasons later. It just, I can't deal with Drake no more. I just really can't. I can't deal with that man no more.
I feel like if you, I mean, it's just like when people work as an employee, right? You're an employee, you don't have any power, and then you get promoted to a manager. And whereas you just went with the flow as being an employee, when you become a manager, you start to abuse your power. You start to come in when you want. You start to, you know, so I feel like it's just him being put in a position of power and realizing like, hey, I could throw my weight around here a little bit. I think before, the reason why he didn't do it is because, number one, he wanted to be able to infiltrate into Ghost organization. So he used the knowledge that Kanan knew about Ghost to be able to do it. And he was like a puppet, like an errand boy at first. But I think now he's like in a position of power that he's throwing his weight around and he's feeling himself. But I think in the beginning, he started off as under Kanan, as his, like, you know, employee. And then he kind of felt like, no, I want to be a boss myself. So I think that's kind of what's happening. But hey.
Yeah, I can see that. It's just so many ways it can turn, which is what makes it a really good show.
Exactly.
You just don't know what's going to happen.
Everybody has their own interpretation. They have their own way that they think is going to go and think is going to happen. So it's definitely interesting for sure. It wasn't really much that happened. And once I seen the episode, I was like, should I wait like 2 episodes to like do the recap or whatever? Because it wasn't that much.
I have a question for you.
Okay, say it again.
I said I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about the guy that, like, Dre's right-hand man, like his buddy, or I don't know if it was his right-hand man, but Dre's friend, and then the other guy, I don't know if his name is Bernard or not, but they killed the guy that was walking down the street that had the tattoo from the Latina gang.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so they killed him, and then they were real proud and like, oh, yo, you know,
we got to get him off the street.
We did this.
Yeah.
Right. And then when Dre found out, he didn't give him credit. He told the other guy, you know, that it was pretty much this other guy that was also part of the Latina gang. A different Latina gang, but a different gang than the black gang, you know?
Right.
So when he did that, it seemed as if he was going through a power trip. But when this last episode happened and they started, you know, the other guy, the head guy, was killing everybody that had anything to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that was perhaps him protecting his friend? Like, do you think Dre was trying to protect his friend?
That was for sure 100%.
Like, that's why he lied.
It wasn't it wasn't necessarily, oh, I need to protect my friend. It was, I have to protect my organization. From the beginning, when he got the information that they did it, and they came to him and they were like so proud about it, and they were like, oh yeah, we got this guy. He was like, we cannot have this blow back on us. So that was him protecting his organization, because he didn't want it to come back on them for the alliances that he had made previous, and the dealings that he has with other people. So that was him protecting his own behind. And I think they took it as a diss, but it's like, no, really, I'm covering y'all behinds and my own behind. Mm-hmm. So I think that that's what that was.
Yeah.
Because he immediately said, we can't have this come back on us, you know. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. I've been trying to find ways to humanize Drake, because I just don't look at him no more like the way I used to when I first saw him. Of course, he's an attractive man, so it was like, oh, he's cute. And then he was trying to come up, and it seemed like he was trying to do it the right way with Ghost. You know, then when he started being bullied by Kanan, I would be upset about that, because it's like, why is Kanan doing X, Y, Z, and all he's trying to do is protect Ghost's child? And now it's just like he didn't, you know, lost his everlasting damn mind. And I ain't been connected with him in about a season and a half, and I'm trying to like the man, and it ain't working. It ain't working. So I guess I was trying to humanize him with thinking he was protecting his friend, but you're right, he did make it about the organization, you know, because he didn't want to kick back on them. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean,
but what do you think about?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
What do you think about like Tasha? Do you think she is going to, like, I know how she doesn't like Kanan right now. I get that. But with the fact that Tariq is lying, either he just lying every time he open his mouth, and he don't open his mouth at all and get that little stupid look we always see, and everybody make the memes on. It's like she still has not realized her child is not telling her everything, because he keep dropping little niblets here and there, and she acts shocked every single time he drop one. So do you think she gonna do something incredibly stupid to mess up their union, which is Ghost, Kanan, and Tommy, because she in her feelings, you know, because that little scene with them in the hallway, you know,
I mean, I feel like
just
when
losing her cool.
I don't know. I think the only thing that she would do is try to attack Kanan, because she really has this strong dislike for Kanan. As far as like going out and jeopardizing her family in a way that, you know, she's going to be on the hook for like having to go to trial and being defended. I don't see that. I don't see that going as a direction. I think that the person who's going to be in trouble, that's going to need the saving, is going to be Ghost or Tommy or something like that. I think that she's technically supposed to be like the glue, and that's what normally the mother unit is like the glue that glues everything together. I think that from her gaining knowledge, and I mean, I'm not sure if you have kids, but me, myself, I have a daughter, so anytime my daughter does things outside of the norm of what I taught her or how I know her to be, it is a shocker. But I think that, you know, she's genuinely shocked, because we hold our kids to a certain standard. It's like, I raised you to be this way. So how, with all of that I put into raising you, how are you going astray and you're doing this and you're doing that? I think when it comes to Tasha and Tariq, I think that she is gaining knowledge about her son that she didn't know about him. She's realizing faults in her parenting that she didn't recognize before. And I think that with the information that she's getting from him, it's given her a better understanding as to what happened. And even though knowing the real truth of what happened hurts her, at the end of the day, this is my only other son that I have. So I think that getting the information is going to help her better protect him. And so she's going to be able to have better information to use against Angela to get Angela to do what she wants Angela to do. That's what I think. But hey, I don't know.
Yeah, I can see some of that.
Yeah.
But I found it funny last week when you and the guy was going back and forth, and he was just adamant that Angela and Ghost was not
Gonna hook up.
going to rekindle a little affair thing, and I'm literally yelling at the phone like, how do you see that, dude? Because
Right.
Jamie is already reaching out to her, and then she is just like, I don't like Angela. I don't like Angela with a passion because if you think back on season 1, and they saw each other and it was like, puppy love and all of that. But he did tell her that I got a wife and a family before they first had relations in that club. And she did what every other thoroughbred hoe did, and she just erased his wife. She just took him out, just like, she don't exist right now. While I get this D, I'll worry about that later. And she did it over and over and over again. And then she began to do the same thing that every other thoroughbred hoe do. And she, oh, well, why do you have to go home? Oh, well, what is special about your wife? I mean, in my opinion, dudes can't be tricked by hoes anymore because they all got the same pattern. It's like a handbook. Right. They all do the same thing. They tell you it's just between us. Then they do their thing. Then they get jealous of the main chick. Then they want the main chick to find out. So they tell the main chick or give her hints. And then everything is messed up.
Right.
It's the same plan. And she did it to a T as well. So, it's like, of course she gonna mess with him again because she weak. She weak like that. She did it the first time. And this time she knows that Tasha and him are not in love.
Right.
The first time she wasn't sure. She was just taking his word, but she had a doubt. Now she know for a fact. So that's just gonna make it more easier for her, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I think for sure 100% that they are going to rekindle their flame. And especially shows that, like, he's not trying to work on a family. He's not taking his family serious, or else he wouldn't be slanging his D to try to get investments. He would figure out another way to try to, like, get investments and everything like that. But him having sex with the investor shows that he's not invested in making his family work. He's interested in his own ultimate goal and what makes him feel good. And, Angela, even though that's not his wife and he married Tasha, they have a bond that was created before he even met her. And yes, Angela was wrong for sleeping with a married man and it wasn't right and things like that. But he's going to try to find the same comfort that he tried to find before in her. And like you said, she did it before, she'll do it again. So I believe as well, yes, like I said last week, they are going to hook up again 100%. Her job is going to definitely be back jeopardized, all because, again, like you said, she's weak and she's going to fall for Ghost again. So, yeah.
But who do you think this guy is that when she dropped the papers in the hall and then she slept with him at the end?
I think he's up to something. I think he's a mole. I think he's a mole that's planted to try to gain info on her. He's probably like whatever, how they have internal affairs for the cops. I don't know if it's called something different for feds, but I think he's the equivalent to that. He's a fed trying to get information. I don't think the relationship is genuine as somebody who's interested in Angela because she looks good. I'm trying to use you for whatever he wants to do. Just like he's like, oh, let me see your phone. And he didn't look at her phone, but I'm sure, that relationship is going to be a lot more comfortable. She's going to start slipping up. And what his true intentions are will be revealed. And it's not to be Miss Angela's love interest.
So it happened right after she met the dude. It was like just immediately after she sent her team to shut down the local police,
Right.
And she did it in a big way. They came in there with their boxes and their attitudes and their warrants and all types of stuff, which also just really ticked them off. And then next thing you know, she coming out of the elevator of a dude that looked real comfortable in where he at, but she ain't never seen him before.
Right.
You know, and then 2 scenes later they, getting it on. It's just like Angela don't think enough for me. And that's what makes me mad. Like meeting Tasha several times, every time something happened, here she is with Tasha in a coffee shop. It's like all you gotta do is follow her and you bound to catch something. Right. That's how Greg caught her. That's how everybody catches her. And she still, even though she'll get caught, she'll repeat the same dumb stuff repeatedly. And it's just, I hate people that's really smart, but then really
they
smart
dumb.
and really dumb. That just gets under my skin. It gets under my skin. So I don't know, but I really think Tommy should have just killed her
a long
back
time
when he
ago.
wanted to.
Yeah, but then the show wouldn't be the show. We gotta have people on there that we love to hate. That's what makes it. If we don't have the people that we love to hate, then it won't be, the back and forth domino effects of, now they gotta do this and that. So, I mean, I guess we gotta have the love to hate characters in there. So, yeah. It's crazy.
And another thing, Senator Tate, I promise you, the first time he brought his behind on the scene, I knew not to trust him by his haircut. His haircut just said.
Not by his haircut.
I'm so serious.
That's funny.
His haircut just said sleazy, trifling, and desperate. That's, and Lorenz Tate is a fine man. But they just really saturated him in the perfect look for that character. Because you could tell he was so severe.
That is so funny.
I just feel like he looks at ghosts like this. Okay, my ninja, you got out of the hood because you know how to throw some parties. You know how to get people together. You know how to make money. That's how you got out the hood. He don't look at him like you intelligent, you smart, you can, you on my level. He don't see it like that. So he think he's going to be able to use him because he's done several dirty things already, like, the conference and all that. That was just really, that was dirty. Now, I think I'd have lost my character on that one because it's like, look, we told you, and you say you have an event for us, and then we get up here, and then you it's just don't. Like, now I'm petty to where I would just turn around and walk out, like left you hanging. That's how petty I would have been. Like, no, I'm not. If I'm not gonna do it, I'm not gonna do it. I don't like him at all. I think he's more dirty than. Well, we already know that he's dirty. I think he's more capable of a whole lot more evilness.
Yeah. I think so too. But we just gonna have to see, and we're gonna have to see how these things unfold. And being that, I'm doing these reviews, it's gonna be interesting as the season goes to see like what we predict and what I predicted with my friend, what I predicted with you, and then what I'll predict going forward, and then to see like what actually happens. So that'll be interesting too. But I guess I'll just wrap up the conversation right there. We kind of touched on all of the main characters so far, and we'll see what happens going forward. But all right, guys, that's all for this week's recap of Power episode 3 on season 5. Stay tuned next week to see the next recap, and join in on the conversation. Type what you think is going to happen going forward. What do you think is going to happen with Tariq, Tasha, Angela, Tommy, Kanan, the business drug deals that they have in motion, how things will play out. I'm interested to see other Power fans' perspective, and I want to hear from you guys, so let's talk about it in the comments. Alright guys, that's all for this video. Stay tuned for more celebrity news and gossip. But in order to do that, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button right now. But while you're hitting that like and subscribe, be sure to go on over to Grown Folks channel. She has commentary on her channel. And I want to again thank you for tuning in and doing this whole review with me. So one last time, give a shout out to your channel.
My channel is Grown Folk. The title says it all. Okay, I am an avid cusser, so just know that. But we talk about all types of things. I have a small following right now. I've only been doing it for a year, but I have a good little following and loyal. And we have fun and you know, get it cracking over there. So if you would like to, I would love for you guys to join me over at Grown Folk, okay?
All right, guys, so once you hit that subscribe button over here, I'm going to have her link in the description going over to Grown Folk. Subscribe to her. And that's all. All right, guys. Peace.